It is Monday. It is 1 o'clock. It is time for the Monday message. So excited to be talking with everybody today because this is the week of A View from the Edge. I'm telling you, last year I was so excited going into A View from the Edge
It
because
is Monday. It is 1 o'clock. It is
hang on a
time for
second
the
here.
Monday message. So excited.
There we go. Sorry, I was getting feedback on my end. All right. Let me get back to where I was at. All right. View from the Edge. That last year, going into A View from the Edge, I was like so excited because people that I know perform at a high level were telling me how awesome it's going to be and how they'd been through it multiple times. It was their favorite event. So I went in last year just like excited. And you know how sometimes if you go into something excited, it can be a letdown? No, it wasn't a letdown. I don't know if a let up is the opposite of a letdown, but whatever the opposite of a letdown was, that I mean, it was just like it was better than I could imagine as far as the personal development. And then the instructional pieces in between were just spot on. And so that's what we've got coming up this week. I'm so excited to be with everybody. So excited to get together with all my buddies down there. It's going to be an incredible, incredible event. So today's Monday message, we're going to spend time talking about previous events, specific takeaways. Because here's the thing, if you're new, we can't go back in time and go to the event in the past. But what I've got is some of my all-stars, some of my leaders on here sharing past events, big takeaways they had from those events, and then sharing how they're going to get the most out of this event. So good stuff coming up. Let's get right into our leaderboards. All right. Let's see. I got it over here to my right. Can I put that on this screen? Is that possible? No? Anybody know? All right, hang on a second. Otherwise, I'm gonna have to look at like this the whole time. There we go. Now I can see it. Okay, now it's right in front of me. All right, little technical glitch. All right, cool. So all producers over 1,000. We had to create 2 pages. We have more people coming on, more people getting started, more people making things happen. I love it. So we'll start with Kyle. We got Allison. We got Camille. We got Mallory, Kelly Lynn, Gabrielle, Jessica Rasmussen, Dolores, Kevon, Brandon, Nathan. Nathan, I know you're out there. I know you're right in business. The guys in the office are excited about what you're doing. Irma Moss Bryant is back. We got Jason B coming in with $2,105.15. Next slide as we keep working our way towards the top five. You got Sarah coming in at 2,322. Latanya. You got Josh Owens. You got Jennifer Midgley coming in there. Destiny. We got David Fleming, Mimi Ramiro, Sabrina Floyd dropping in 8 apps last week. Way to go. Derek, part of Rogers and Kim Straughter's team coming on. Rogers and Kim coming in right there. Barrett, part of the way to go, Barrett. I knew you were gonna kill this thing, man. I just knew it. Part of Garrett's team. Then you got Tom Payne coming in, David Helgeson out there in Arizona. Zadok Gibbs was just with Zadok last week in Miami, in Fort Lauderdale at the hot spot. Zadok's about to come on and kill this thing. I'm telling you, he's been submitting IULs. He's getting in the flow. Then you got Janet, part of Garrett's team in Houston, coming on like a storm, man. I'm telling you that every year it's like, who's going to be that person, right? We had Burge come on, we had Aaron Wilson come on, and we're just like, who's going to be that next person? I love seeing new people come out the gates killing it. Let's look at our top five. Top five last week would be Nick Greco coming in with $8,499.97. Earl, way to go, bro. $10,336.65. Way to go, Earl. Jeremico, $10,694 on 13 applications. Mark Hutchison coming in with 12 apps for $18,077.52. And number one last week for the week that was Mercedes. He's writing those IULs, lighting it up. $19,006.20. Way to go, Mercedes. Let's look at our next leaderboard. Top five weekly paychecks. Look at the money going out the house. I love it. David Helgeson getting in there with $3,470.34 deposited last week. Mike Guerra getting $5,340.02 deposited last week. Nick Greco depositing $6,548.63 last week. Mercedes depositing $8,403.01 last week. And number one paycheck last week, Mark Hutchison deposited $19,362.52. Way to go, brother. That is awesome. I love it. All right, Cabo leaderboards. There's going to be a big shakeup in the makeup coming. I'm just telling you, when all the bonus points hit for being at a view from the edge, you're going to see some people shoot up these leaderboards. Right now, David Helgeson leading the way on the Cabo leaderboards. Look at Janet, new agent from Houston, making things happen. Look, Hutch making a big jump there on the leaderboards. Barrett, just telling you, Cabo is going to be epic. You will not want to miss Cabo. All right, let's go next leaderboard. Recruiting last week, you see the base shop, Josh Owens making things happen. And again, on Submit and on Fast Tracks and things like that, we don't get great data feeds. So if you'll submit your activity every week through Discord, we will make sure we get that up there for you, because I want to give you as much recognition as possible. Nobody has died from too much recognition. I promise you that. All right. So view from the edge is coming up. Here's the thing about events. I just want to give you kind of the way I operate. I know that I have been through some crazy, crazy stuff in my life. I've seen some crazy stuff. I've had crazy, crazy good breaks in my favor. I've had crazy, crazy bad breaks not in my favor. I've had crazy, crazy good relationships that continue to thrive, and I've had people that did not treat me well, right? Here's what I know. The flow of that stuff is going to continue to come, right? There's no way to stop it, right? The flow of good and bad is going to come your way. Here's how I operate. I don't know when what I need to hear is going to be said and when I'm going to need it. I'll say it again. I don't know when what I need to hear is going to be said, and I don't know when I'll need it. Meaning the next challenge that comes my way, meaning the next big opportunity. By the way, seminars, estate planning seminars. That is the big opportunity. That is the latest big opportunity. I don't know when those things are going to come my way, but what I do know is they are going to come, both good and bad. And I'm going to need information to be able to navigate it successfully. Does that make sense? Like, I'm going to need that information. I don't know what it's going to be. So what I try and do is keep myself at all the places where the information is going to be given out. We were just at an event this weekend. If there's somewhere where I can be that the information that I'm going to likely need is going to be given out, I'm going to be there. I'm going to be there. I know as far as investments go, I've got lots of different investments. My number one investment is in knowledge and wisdom for me, because I'm the one that's going to navigate my life. Does that make sense? So that's how I look at events. So when there's an event like a view from the edge, it's never a if I should go. I wonder if I should go. I never have that thought, because I'm going, there's going to be information there that I know I'll need in the future. So I'm going to be there to make sure I get as much of it as I can. So what I want to do is have some of my friends come on, and what I asked them to do was, please think of the top 3 or so, whatever, big takeaways from events in the past, like this. You know, you don't have to even say which event it was. I mean, Lord knows, if you're anything like me, it's hard for me to remember which event was which, but I just know what I heard. Does that make sense? So, what are some of those big things you've taken away from past events? So if you are new, and if View from the Edge is your first event, what we're going to do is give you stuff from the past events that's going to help you. And then they're going to tell you how they're going to get the most out of the event. Now, I will tell you this. I got a line on 6 tickets at the early bird rate, but we got to act fast on them. So if you're brand new and you're like, I didn't get in on the early bird rate, I got an option for you. If you've been with us and you hesitated, I only got 6 of them. As far as I know right now, I found a line on 6 tickets at the early bird rate. So we'll have to get them. We're having to get them from another agency is what we're having to do. So I've got 6. So if you haven't committed yet, I'm telling you, you will not be disappointed. You will be amazed at the event. If you've got someone on your team and you're like, they didn't jump in on it, let's give them one more call this afternoon. I called off our leadership base shop leadership call, because I want to do these things, right? I want to get in touch with more people and try and I want those 6 tickets on our team. All right. I want those 6 tickets on your team. So if you're not committed yet and you hear what we're talking about, then I'm just telling you, get in on it. So first, want to get Adam Burge on. Adam came on like a storm as a new person. The first time I met Adam was at a big event, and he has been at every big event ever since. And it is no coincidence that he has passed people that have been with me for decades. You know what I'm saying? It's no coincidence because he attacks the events the same way I do. And when he's at the event, it's so funny. I love getting the text from Adam because he's trying to figure out specific things. I got to get this specific thing. Like he's a information like a truffle hound. You know what I'm saying? Like a truffle hound looking for those truffles. He's looking for that information. He's on it at every event. So Adam, come on, man, share some of the stuff like like I said, top three or whatever from the past. Like boom, this, and then tell us what you're going to do to get the most out of a view from the edge.
I tried to keep it to three, but I got four. I just couldn't. I couldn't decide which ones to leave off.
Like I said, top three or whatever.
So what I did is I chose four that I thought well not only impacted me and made me glad that I went to all these events, but I figured would also help others see the need, the wisdom of going to these events. So the first one that just popped right in my head was Belle Krause's talk at Family Reunion in 2021. She talked about how to get started. And at that time, when I was getting into analysis paralysis, I was overthinking how to get started. And I felt like I needed to know everything about life insurance before I could possibly go talk to others about life insurance. And Belle Krause explained in her part what a bad idea that is. That is just, it's not true. You're getting in your way. And she made a comment that really stood out to me. Let the ink and the paper fly. And so that's what I did. I went home, and the next week I made $3,000, just like that, from just applying Belle's advice in Family Reunion 2021. Then in the Family Reunion 2022, Mark Hutchison gave a great talk on how to overcome objections. And that really helped me out a lot. I was running into lots of objections that I didn't know how to overcome in the field. And with Mark's years of experience, he shared how to do that. And I made money the following week just from going to that event. The next one was NatCon 2022, how to build a team. Mike and Noel Leventovich gave a talk on that, and I think they've done it again since. It might have been also in NatCon 2023. And what's great about Mike and Noel is that they've been where I am at, just getting started in building a team. And so they could talk about the pitfalls and the keys to success. And so I really soaked up everything they said. In fact, I recorded it and I listened to it over and over and over again. That's how helpful it's been for me personally. And then the last one, I think the one that's going to change my entire life and the life of everyone else in the Alliance who applies this, was Belle Krause talked at NatCon 2023. I'm sorry, forgive me, 2024, about trusts. She made a comment about trust that piqued my interest. It was like, what is she talking about? Trust seminars. And that's what got me into my very first event, my trust events. I'm going to have my first one in just a few weeks now, a couple weeks. And so those trust seminars, I know just from talking to Belle and Jake, Scott Garcia, other people who've been doing these, I know it's going to change the money flow for my wife and I. And I would not have heard about that as soon as I did. I would not have been motivated as fast as I was to get started had I not been to National Convention 2024. So those are just four highlights I can think of, Stephen.
I love it, man. I love it. Tell me this. What are you planning to do to get the most out of a view from the edge? Like, what's your plan going in? Because I know you don't go into anything without a plan.
Yeah. What I've decided to do is bring Cindy with me because I don't know if a lot of folks know this about me. I have a hard time sitting still for too long, and sometimes it can be hard for me to pay attention constantly. Maybe a lot of people can relate to that. So when there are moments I need to get up and take a break, Cindy's there to make sure if I miss anything that I catch up, and vice versa. And what's nice is when Cindy and I go home, we're on the same page. That was some advice I had gotten from the Slaughters a couple of years ago. That's really true. When we leave, we both know what it is we need to do because we were there and we were paying attention and we kind of talked about the things that we learned that we need to implement.
I love it. I love it. Have someone there with you and with your team, right? Mm-hmm. I know Mimi's going to have a crew there, right? Do a debrief, right? At the end of the day, get together with your team. What were all y'all's takeaways? Because I know this, your thoughts are not as good. My thoughts are not as good as our thoughts. Does that make sense? Like Napoleon Hill talks about that. Like anytime there's more than two people working on a matter, they create not only the two brains they have, but they create a third brain, which is a combination of the ideas, perspectives, and experiences. So yeah, if you got your spouse, get your spouse there. If you got a team, get together, do a debrief. What did you get? What did I get? What did you take away? Because I promise you, it's like a movie, right? You ever have someone put typically, very typically that's me. Someone's having to help me put the pieces back together of a movie. Like, well, remember that part? Oh, that's right, that's right, that's right. So I love it. I love it. And those are three massive takeaways. Let the paper and ink fly. I mean, that's the best advice you can give a new person. And of course, the trust deal. The trust deal is so, so, so massive. I'm just telling you, Belle Krause she's got a whole 45-minute talk on what they're doing with the trusts. So I will be front and center, just getting everything I can out of that. I'm just telling you, it's gonna be that good. So thank you, brother. Thank you for sharing those big three takeaways. And I'm telling you guys that what he's saying, it works. It works like magic. It works every single time. Looking forward to being there with you and Cindy as well, Adam. All right, Mimi, come on. I know you got a crew going. I know you guys are going to get together and debrief. I know we saw Cynthia on the leaderboards. I know she's going to be on the leaderboard. I saw your
Yes,
chat
she
happening
is.
all up here. I love it. Cynthia's going to kill this thing to getting those IUL leads now. Golly. But cool. Yeah, same thing. You know, you've been to many events now, right? So you've got quite an inventory to pull from. So I would love to just, like I did with Adam, I'm going to mute out and listen in. Your big three takeaways from previous events. And if you want to throw a fourth in there, you throw a fourth in there. I don't care. I mean, there's no such thing as too much good, helpful information, right? Um, but and then what are you going to do to get the most out of View from the Edge? Then we're gonna go to Mercedes, and then I've got some specific things, and then we're all going to get off this phone and rip this thing to pieces on our way there. So Mimi, light us up.
Okay, Steven, thank you for having me. I I Adam is better than me, okay? He has specific date. I don't have it like that, Steven. I'm kind of like you too. I can't remember which event I got what from, but I'll tell you what those events have done for me in general. So when I go, I remember when I started, I always said on every call that you put me on before an event, big things happen at big events. I learned it the very first year that I came into the alliance, and I never forgot it, and I still do it. With money or without money, you need to be there. Because guess what? Once you get there, the money part of it will get solved. So that's what I believed in when they told me, you have to be there, Mimi, because big decisions happen at big events. I didn't know what that means, but it sounds great. So I got excited about it and I made it to the event. I don't even remember if I had money or not. I know I had a newborn, but I went and I wasn't disappointed. I just had faith. I borrowed that person's faith who said that big words, and then I act on it. So I'm hoping that's the same thing for you guys. So when I go to all the big events in general that I go to, what are some of my three takes away? What have they done for me? When I go to big events, it helped me reset myself. It's like you have a clock, you reset. You go, that's why I love having 4 events per year because it gives you a 90 days hardcore run. So when you go, you're like, whew, reset. So you get your mind right and all that, and then you go back again, go back at it. So it helps me to reset, recharge myself. And then the other thing that I never felt to do at big event is to associate. Because this business can be fairly lonely because you're doing it from home or from your own office. You don't have the whole team with you. The energy is not there when you're on your own, but you're truly not by yourself. You're just working for yourself, not by yourself. That's another reason why I love going to big events because I get to associate with people, not just anybody. I associate with people who can help me go to the next level. Like I've been bugging Andy Riddle for a good while now. Hey, dude, I'll buy you coffee so that I can sit with you and talk to you. He came to California 2 weeks ago. I went and meet with him. So I'm meeting with him again at View from the Edge. So that way I can get some of what he knows more than me. He's more successful. I want to get around people who are more successful. So I am touching also on what I'm doing. I am proactively reaching out to people that I want to associate with, people who are where I want to be, so that way I can get time with them and learn from them. The other thing that it never fails, Stephen, whenever I go to big events, I came out different, not just business wise, but as a person. I always set new goals, higher goals, crazy goals. I guess that's why we do this, because you change, you become a change agent. So I always come out as a change agent, and then I'll set my new goals. I don't care how crazy it sounds. If it's in my head, then I can make it happen with action. So I set my new goals based on my new lens, because I don't see the same way I came in. So, and then I set the goals and a plan to implement them. I don't even make it home without a plan. From the meeting and inside, when I'm in the plane, in the airplane, that's what I'm doing. I'm setting up those goals and put a plan in place, so that way when I come home, I'm not confused. I don't let too much time pass by so I lose that fire. I start implementing right away. So these are the three things I would say that I've learned through the different events to do, and that been helping me. Do I know these prior to going to events? I always know, but when you get there, just being around the people itself, it makes you want to do it, because you see other people, like Adam referred to Belle Krause a lot. You see Belle, and if you know Belle, you know she's no special, but she's applying what she's learned here and put it into action. It's good to be around these people, and you have the desire to be more like them and do what they're doing, learn their secret. So what am I gonna do to make sure that I make the most, get the most out of this plan? I already gave one of them. I'm reaching out right now to people that I want to associate with. And like Stephen mentioned, I'm gonna have my team with me. That's another thing I love about going to event. I get to associate with the team. After each event, we always meet up and talk about, hey, what did you learn? What did I learn? What did you learn? We go around and do that, and we set up goals as well right then and there. What do you guys want to achieve with the next 90 days? So that way we don't lose the fire. We keep the momentum going. That's what I'm doing, Stephen. I don't know if I took too much time.
Nope, that was perfect. That was perfect. What you said, straight facts, right? Big things happen at big events. No one's ever had a giant revelation laying on their couch. I'm just saying, big things happen at big events. If someone does have a big revelation laying on their couch, that might be a different issue going on. But you know what I'm saying? Like, big events, that's where big things happen. That's where big changes happen. That's where big changes in thought process happen. I love what you said too about reset. I was just typing notes as you were talking. It is a reset. It is a reset. And it's important for you to be there away from, here's what you need to be away from: the noise of your everyday life. See, the noise of your everyday life keeps you from thinking at a higher level. It's like the white noise they play in a call center to drown out. That's kind of what our lives are like when we're in our daily routines. And the normal noise of our life, it keeps us from thinking at a different level. So I'm like you. I love going to the event because I come out with bigger goals, thinking different thoughts, dreaming bigger dreams. What else did you say here? Oh, by the way, I was also going to say, I can't remember where I got all the stuff at either at the different events. Like, maybe it's because we've been to so many over the years. I don't know. It was in a giant conference room full of people. I remember that part. And I'm going to talk about relationships in a minute. What she's doing is very smart. Who do you want to connect with at the big events, right? Who is that person? And I'm going to talk about that in a little bit. So I love that. Yeah, thinking bigger goals, dreaming bigger dreams, feeling different things, right? If 5 years from now you're thinking the same thoughts, feeling the same feelings, dreaming the same dreams, you have wasted 5 years of your life. So I don't want that to happen to anybody. So I want you at the event. Way to go, Mimi. And again, I do have a line on at least right now 6 tickets. They're gonna, I can't keep them. I can't keep him from selling them to other people. Does that make sense? So if you got one more, get them there. Awesome. Thank you, Mimi. I'm looking forward to seeing you.
You.
Well. All right. Mercedes, #1 agent last week in Submit, lighting it up on those IULs. I love it. I love it. So light us up. What are some of your big takeaways from events in the past? What are you going to do to make sure you get the most out of this event?
Hi, Stephen. Thank you, Stephen and Holly. That is not fair because my first event was in Raleigh years ago. So I know the next one will be always your favorite, but to be honest, the next one is my favorite. I'm so excited to come back to Raleigh. Many memories there, but I remember that is my first big. I remember when I was there, when I went to a rally, and I thought that I know about insurance because I got a license. Definitely not. Nobody know. I mean, like we learned during the process, and that is the big one. I saw how big we are and how much I learned just going to the first event was crazy. And after that, I understood that I need to continue go there to continue learning and grow the business. I mean, I make my money, I help my family, and me, everybody. So that is my first big. That is why I'm excited to come back to Raleigh. So the second one, definitely the association. I want to put a tattoo here just to read every day. Association is the key. Association with everybody. If you are new and you are listening, take advantage to be in this convention, BUSA, because you will meet Stephen Davis. He's millionaire. I mean, he's and his family. I'm talking with you also, Holly. And who the one talk with Andy Albright, with Jane Albright, with Adam Katz. We have many millionaires there that they are willing to give you an advice. If you wanna talk with somebody and ask about, hey, I'm doing this. Megan Wood, for example. Oh, that is a very good example. And each convention, not the last one, each convention, I stopped by and I talked with Megan Wood, ask her a specific question. Hey, Megan, I'm doing this and this. What do you think? And how I can learn, how I can do this or the other one. And what is your favorite carrier to profit and indemnity, for example? The association is incredible. It's awesome there. And also be face to face with carriers that you are doing business or you are planning to do business, or just meet somebody in the different, I mean, they have many stands there and they are willing to talk to you, to answer any question. I remember, Stephen, not long time ago, and that was in Orlando convention, and I spent time with a carrier that hey, something happened with this application. They are taking more time than they usually you do. And in that moment, they click and they click in the computer and the application was approved immediately. That is the beauty of the association and each convention. And the third one is the motivation. That's exactly Mimi mentioned before. Every 3 months, we have the great opportunity to be more high in motivation. Listen, this awesome speaker. I'm excited, Stephen, to see you again, like a speaker. I'm sorry for that, for a speaker, because you have a lot of things to share, and we have the privilege to listen you every single Monday. But at the same time, our leader be there in the convention. I mean, I'm make me proud, and like I say, it's a great opportunity to learn more from you and the other big leaders there. So I'm so excited because, to be honest, the next one is my favorite. See you soon. I don't know if you have an extra question, Stephen.
No, that was perfect. That was perfect. Next one's my favorite one. You know what I'm saying? I love it. And what you were talking about there, seeing how big the opportunity really is, and that to me, it's really twofold. One, you see, oh, yeah, this is a big opportunity. But then two, like the other part of me goes, bro, that dude, that person, they're doing how much? Like in the beginning, that's what I was doing. I was like, make me a list here, people I'm going to take out this year. Right? You know what I'm saying? Like you just see it and you're like, oh my God, that dude, like, not in an arrogant way, but in a belief way. When you see people doing big things and you're like, holy crap, I ain't got nothing on me. Like I love it. Then the association, being around people that are trying to get stuff done with their life. You know what I'm saying? I like to be around, men that make me uncomfortable, right? Where they're doing things with their life that matters and it makes me go, ooh, I got to double down. I got another gear. I just got to find it. I love that. And what you said about carriers, so key. Nothing's worse than when you got an issue with a carrier and you got to call, text me and say, hey, who do we have with this carrier or that carrier? Go, here's what it is. Make friends before you need friends. The reason that magic trick was pulled for Mercedes is she goes and makes friends before she needs friends. We make the carriers easy to find. We put them all in the same area. Go make friends. Go make friends with the carriers. Get their contacts. Take a picture with them. Text the picture to them. Make a friend before you need a friend. I love that. Yeah, great stuff. Great stuff. All right. So, all right, I'm going to give you a few quick things, and then I've got to go because we got so much to get done before the convention. Here's what it is. To get the most out of any event, you have to have a plan. Like to just sit in an event and hope that something life altering, something business altering happens. I mean, that's like eating alphabet cereal thinking it would make you better at spelling. It won't. Does that make sense? Now, in an event, it may hit you, but I don't want to take a chance. See, if I'm going to put myself somewhere, I'm not taking a chance. Make sense? So going into an event, I'm thinking about what do I need to get better at? That's the first question. What do I need to get better at? Maybe right now you're going, I'm writing 3 or 4 grand a week, but I know I can be a 10 grand a week producer. Okay, that's a great start. I've got a couple of guys getting started, but I want to go 10x this. I want 10 people writing business on my team by the middle of summer. Okay, fantastic. That's another good one. That's another good one. So what is it I want to get better at? Now, I've got that information. It's helping hone my focus through the event. Like what I promise you, no one will be paying more attention to Bell Cross's talk about trusts than Adam Burge. But maybe me. I'll try hard to compete with him on that because you know what I'm saying? Like zoned in on what do we need to take away? What do we need to learn? So then what information is that and what relationships do I need to build? What relationships do I need to build? Who do I want to grab a coffee with while I'm there? Who do I want to grab a drink with? Who do I want to try and get in for lunch? Like what relationships do I need to build? Make a friend before you need a friend. Make a friend before you need a friend. I can't tell you how time has already failed me because we're already over time, but to really go through and list all the specific people that have helped me along the way. I mean, it's just we wouldn't have time. You and I would have to take some time off just for me to tell you about all of it. I'm just telling you relationships and what people do to help you. Now, that leads me to my last thing, how to get the most out of an event. Gratitude. A grateful mind and a grateful heart is an open mind and heart. When people are in negative modes, they have closed minds and closed hearts. That's why it's so hard to help change someone's behavior if it's in a negative mode. Because in a negative mode, we become very scarce. When we're in a scarcity type of operation, we just don't take in new information. So one of the things I do before every big event is take time to think through what am I grateful for, whom am I grateful for, and then I like to write out some thank you notes ahead of time, and then I'll give them to them at the event. One, that builds relationships. Two, it puts me in a grateful, abundant mode right before information I need is going to be given out. Does that make sense? It's a very strategic thing. You know, I've read an insane amount of psychology books. I'm just telling you, anything you can do to put your mind and heart in a grateful position, it puts you in an abundant position. You will have bigger goals, bigger dreams, bigger plans coming out of it. I promise you that. All right, cool. Can't wait to see you there. I don't know how many of those tickets I'll have by the end of the day. I don't know. I'm hoping he didn't sell them between now and then, but that was as of 11:30. He said, I've got 6 I could hook you up with. So at the early bird rate, one step at a time. Don't try and figure everything out. Let's get a ticket. Okay, now get yourself to Raleigh. I'm telling you, you will absolutely on Sunday come up to me and go, dude, I'm so glad I decided to come. When you get 2 more people on your team there on Sunday, you'll be like, I am so glad I got 2 people on my team here. I'm just telling you, this event is going to be epic. I can't wait to see you there. Can't wait to see everybody there. Can't wait to give some high fives and some hugs and taking some information. It's going to be fantastic, guys. See you there. Holly and I love you. We want you to win more than you can possibly imagine. Everything drives towards this weekend. Oh, one last thought, by the way. Y'all did an awesome job of cranking up the submit this week. I'm telling you, just submit business like at a higher level than you've ever submitted. Make more calls, run more appointments going into the event. Having all that coming in is going to give you crazy momentum. When you've got momentum, it's going to put you in an abundant mode. You're going to get more out of the event. All right, let's get out. Let's get after it. Love y'all.